morning, Zoe. This is right.
Good evening. Sorry. Teachers Teachers are responsible for and maintain and monitor. Teachers think systematically about their practice and learn from experience. And teachers are members of learning communities. These are propositions of the National Board, and tonight we are here to recognize Nationally Board certified teachers and teachers that have already achieved National Board certification that have done their maintenance. From Big Elm Elementary, Hannah Carpenter.
We made her work for you. We talked to your colleagues, and these were all the words they used to describe you. Then you have some your principal here. Okay. You want to get a picture, and what about your family?
Let's take a bigger picture at the end.
Bigger picture at the end.
Okay.
Okay. You have family here, though. If your family, her family could stand. And for those of you that aren't aware, there is no way a teacher can achieve this without his or their ability. And that's their colleagues, especially their family, because they're going to be picking up some slack while they're working on this. It's a very rigorous process. So kudos to you.
Taya Klein, Johnson Elementary. Shannon Elliott, Johnson Elementary. Tanya Stewart, Lumberport Elementary.
One of my former Bridgeport High School students worked with her, and she decided to use it as a teaching moment. What's an adjective, a describing word? Let me tell you, they think you're very, very pretty. They like your skirts, they like your bracelets, and they like your earrings. And the teacher tried to direct them to professional words, but just so you know, they think you're very pretty. I'll take it.
Joanne Wilson, Liberty Middle School.
I have a story for her too. I was in the principal's office. Somebody got in trouble at once, had her for math, and he thinks you're a very good teacher. And when he saw Mr. Rogers smile, he really started laying it on thick. So Mr. Rogers.
Congratulations to these teachers and the newest members of the National Board for Teaching Community. Our teachers that achieved their maintenance of certification, Dr. Jeremiah Smallridge, he could not be here this evening. Rebecca Merritt, Bridgeport High School. And Tara Burnett, Nutter Fort Primary.
Thank you. And for those of you, the maintenance is a little bit different. So you've already received your National Board certification. And then within 5 years, you have to prove, okay, hotshot, you've got the certification. What have you been doing with it for the past 5 years? And And they have to prove that they are improving things for their students, their schools. So it's tough. So all the family members stand up. Need to give them a round. Let's go to college. Have any other questions? And then we have a reception right there. Unless you want to stay for the rest of the meeting, I would understand. Hold on. Congratulations.
Yeah, tell Jenny, recognize all the other, you recognize all the ones, all of them who may be in the audience that have their certification as well.
Can we have the families come up? Don't be shy, you earned this too.
Everybody takes that. Yep. Don't have.
No, wait, we got some more people coming in, Dave.
Staff look through a window.
The reception staff, right to the.
That's a very momentous achievement. You should all be very proud. All right. To Harrison County Teacher of the Year. Ms. Smith, would you like to help with Harrison County Teacher of the Year?
Sure.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Teacher appreciates.
Okay. All right. This year, there were more than 80 different nominations for Teacher of the Year. It came from colleagues, students, community members, administrators. Anyone could nominate. And before I introduce this year's Teacher of the Year, I would like to introduce the two finalists. First, I have Mrs. Joanne Wilson, who was just awarded her National Board Certification. Joanne, would you come up? Joanne is a teacher at Liberty Middle School. She holds a bachelor's degree in multidisciplinary studies and a master's degree in elementary education with a specialization in middle school mathematics from West Virginia University. At the heart of Ms. Wilson's success is her ability to build meaningful relationships with students and her creation of a nurturing classroom environment where all learners feel supported and valued. She has a talent for making mathematics engaging, while inspiring her students to believe in their abilities to strive to be their very best. Ms. Wilson, congratulations. Our other finalist is Heather Hope. Heather's a dedicated educator with 7 years of experience across the K-5 spectrum. She's currently a third grade teacher at Victory Elementary School. She holds a master's of arts degree in education from West Virginia University, along with a specialized certification in early childhood and also special education. She's also earned an autism endorsement from Marshall University. Ms. Hope consistently demonstrates deep knowledge of the subject matter and has an exceptional ability to make lessons engaging and meaningful to all students. Her commitment to student success extends way beyond the classroom through extra support, extracurricular involvement, and ongoing communication with the families. Heather Hope. And before I get to this year's Teacher of the Year, I do want you to know we celebrate these teachers because they do such a great job, and it is everybody within the school system. But we felt like when we awarded them as a finalist or Teacher of the Year, we decided to we were going to have a thing here, but also it would be more meaningful if we went to the school. So we went to each teacher's classroom to present this with their students, and every student was excited for their teacher. So that being said, the 2025 Harrison County Teacher of the Year is Mr. Greg Phillips. Mr. Phillips teaches 9th grade World History, 11th grade AP US History, and 12th grade AP US Government and Politics at Robert C. Byrd High School. He earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree in History from Bethany College and a Master's, a Master's of Arts in Secondary Education from West Virginia University. Mr. Phillips strikes a remarkable balance between providing support and allowing students the independence to grow, learn, and pursue their passion. He gives students the tools to succeed while maintaining high standards that demand genuine effort and accountability. It was best said by one of his former students, and she said, Mr. Phillips' ability to challenge, support, and genuinely understand his students leaves a lasting impression that extends far beyond the classroom. Please give a hand for our Teacher of the Year, Mr. Greg Phillips. But, yes, I see principals here, Mrs. Looker, Mr. Rogers, and Mrs. Dick. Please come forward. Yeah, we'll get more. Yeah, and I give the 3 principals. Then 4. Susan's here. Sorry. Yes. Jump in there. Oh, yeah. Samuel Thomas. Okay. Samuel Thomas, it's your turn. I met him. Bring your bus. Joanne's? Yes.
I'm just prepared. I'm prepared.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, that's it.
All right, next we have our Service Personnel of the Year. I did have a message from Sherry Talkington. She unfortunately is ill and will not be able to attend this evening. So, but Mr. Tucker, were you? Oh, Mr. Kosick. Okay.
Okay, Service Personnel of the Year. It's quite a process that we go through. We had over 40 nominations come in for this award. I wish there could be more than one winner because many of the applications that come in, they're all good and they're in different categories. Service personnel covers everybody from cooks, secretaries, aides, custodians, bus operators, maintenance personnel, just to name a few. But as we go through the applications and read through the recommendations that were provided by coworkers, principals, et cetera, and this particular one, there was some words and phrases that really jumped out at the selection committee that made us confident in our decision. And I'm going to read some of these words. Amazing, above and beyond, positive, efficient, takes initiative, exemplary, collaborator, dedicated, skilled, effective, competent, extra duties, and a commitment to education. Those are the words that jump out off of the paper and hit us, and we say, this has got to be our person. So I would really like to congratulate Kelly Clark as Service Personnel of the Year. She's an autism mentor and also certified in early childhood development. So Kelly, congratulations.
Champions from BMS. Yeah, there they go. So you want to do we got the National InvestWrite Stock Market Game Champions. Yeah, we have certificates for them. Maybe, yeah, go through, explain what the program is. Yeah.
And we had quite a good showing. We have the InvestWrite Stock Market Game National Champion, Farley Clerk. Farley here. Mind explaining exactly what this competition is? If you don't mind. Explain the game, 'cause I've not.
Okay, so there's a stock market game where you take $100,000 of fake money and you put it into a game, and you try to own stocks and invest in stocks, and then you try to see if you can make a profit by the end of the 2 months or 3 months or however long it takes. It's just a good learning experience of how to invest in stocks for when you get older. Yeah. No, our teacher, Mr. Davis, he picks 3 people that he thinks that are the best essay writers. Yeah.
There's an essay portion of it. Some of the write essays, there's a $100,000 investment.
Yeah.
How much money you can
Yes.
make?
Not very much.
Can you retire? That's what I'm.
No.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you're also, yes. Regarding the national, this is the place. And then our teacher is saying,
I will say, yeah.
wow.
1,732 participants across the nation. And this was number 1 and number 5. So.
He was hiding.
There we go. One more.
Math Field Day winners.
Oh, yeah, she's got to explain.
That's interesting.
Hello again. So not so long ago, we were at this board meeting honoring the regional math field day winners that were going to go compete in states. And so I'm happy to say that Harrison County Schools had a very strong showing at the state math field day. We had, in the 4th through 9th grade division, we had Miss Anna Song that placed 2nd place in the state from from Bridgeport Middle School. And Leon Vorst from Bridgeport Middle School as well, 7th grade. He placed 4th place. For the 10th through 12th grade division, they compete as a team. So I kind of talked about last time how our 10th through 12th graders represented 5 of the top 10 students in the region. And I'm happy to say that for all of Region 7, which includes 12 counties, for Division 4 through 9, our region placed 1st place, and both 4th through 9th and 10th through 12th. So that's pretty impressive that we had the best students in the state for our region. But even beyond that, for our students that went for the 10th through 12th grade team, 4 of our 5 students are going to the national math competition that's going to be in Penn State. So I'll talk a little bit about that, but first I'm going to get those kids up here if they're here. So in 19th place, we had William Northey from Bridgeport High School. In 18th place, we had Kevin Dong from South Harrison High School. 17th place was Wade Lane from RCB. And we had the state math field day champion from Bridgeport High School. Congratulations to Leroy Song. So this trophy is presented every year to the first place winner in the state, and it will be on display at Bridgeport High School for an entire year. We have a nameplate that's getting engraved. It'll have his name on it, and he'll go down in the list of recipients of the state math field day winner. That luckily for the high school students, we're not done yet. So 4 of them were invited to participate in the West Virginia team that's going to the ARML competition. That's American Regions Math League, and it's a national annual math team competition that's sort of like our math field day competition. It's held on the same weekend at 5 different locations across the U.S., and our students will travel to Penn State and make up 4 of the 15-person team. So if we think about that, that's 27% of the team that represents our region, state, like multiple states, is coming from Harrison County schools. So that's such an incredible accomplishment. So I want to take just a moment to thank the parents and congratulate the students, but we also need to recognize and thank their math teachers that they've had and been supported and challenged them throughout their academic journeys. So again, 27% of the students that are represented is 5 regions in the state or in the nation is pretty incredible accomplishment. So good job, guys. Good job.
Picture with the principals. Okay.
Can we have the principals come up, please?
Maybe they're math teachers. You want to just reserve a seat? I've been to 2 scholarship events, and I just. I admit every interview.
Great job. Thank you. All right. Next, we have our UTC Skills USA State Competition winners. Mr. Hope?
Oh, yeah. I'll go. Yep.
Okay, this group is from our United Technical Center, and so our UCC serves the Tri-County area, Daughtry, Taylor, and Harrison. And the majority of the that are Harrison County probably these were SkillsUSA state, the state competition. These were the winners. And like the gold medal winners, we had Bridgeport High School. From Lincoln High School. And then Brody Rifle from Roberts to Byrd High School. These are gold medal winners. They this summer. It's really a big honor. That's what
For Emma Ahmad, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Yep, as our swimmer. Yep.
Recognizing this evening, Emma Ahmed, sophomore on the girls swim team at Bridgeport High School. She won 2 individual titles for the 50 free and 100 free and led her team to the 200 medley title for AAA Quad A. She was also named to the All-State team, All-Region 3 team, All Big Ten team, and All-County team for a second year in a row. Miss Emma Ahmed. Now-
Then can take the, Miss Matthews, maybe she can take the certificate to her and express how proud we are of her accomplishment. Thank you. All right, last for our special recognitions and presentations, we have our state social studies winners. Dr. St. Philly.
Well, I can do it by myself if I have to. And for the parents that suffered through these projects, thank you. We understand. I remember those days. So from Bridgeport Middle for U.S. History, we have the team of Liam Bennett and Ben Shavosky. I was close. Yeah. And their project was Ohio, the state Congress forgot to hit submit on. In second place from RCB in anthropology, we have Dylan Miller, and his project was Creepy, Kook, and Culturally Clever. In first place from South Harrison Middle in sociology, we have the team of Bruce Dougherty, Layuna Wilfong, and their project was The People's Temple, a Deadly Cult. Congratulations. Do we have an administrator here from Bridgeport? Yeah. Congratulations.
If anybody would like to stay, they're more than welcome. We're going into the regular business of the meeting now. We'll start with our delegations. Tonight, we have quite a few delegations, so I'll introduce them by subject matter. First, we'll start with Brandy Hines. Yes, come up forward. Yes. Yep. Mhm. You'll have 5 minutes. Keep in mind to stick to the subject, address the board and only the board. If there's any questions, we will not interact back and forth with the presentation.
All right, thank you. Well, good evening. I appreciate the opportunity to come here and present to the board. So my name is Brandy Hines, and I work with Alpha Energy Solutions, and I'm the account representative. Back here, if you'll stand, Chris McGee is one of the techs that works with us. And tonight, I'd just like to go over a little bit of our company, our services, what we have to offer, our references, and some things about our techs. Is it okay if I address the board to give?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I do hate to go after all these nice recognitions, so congratulations. So just a little bit about our company. So we're an HVAC company. and we're here locally. We have an office in Fairmont, West Virginia. Yeah, so Jamie's going to listen. His ears are perking up. Yeah, I know, a little bit. So our company is Alpha Energy Solutions, and we're out of Louisville, Kentucky. We're in 14 different states, so we're pretty large. So we have technicians all the way from Wheeling down to Charleston, just in our area. So some of our services that we do anything HVAC. We do work on any kind of equipment. We work on cooling towers, chillers, PTACs, heat pumps. I mean, you name it, we can work on it. We can also do preventative maintenance. So we can do like clean coils, change filters and change belts, and just check your systems, heating and cooling on different seasons. Some of our technicians, so we have some local technicians here. So Chris he grew up actually in Harrison County, went through your school system. And we have 2 different technicians that live here, and their kids actually go through the Harrison County school system. So we're all trained. They have we're a union background. So they've been through 5 years of an apprenticeship that can do pretty much anything. And they have like an electrical background. So but going through the apprenticeship, they're pretty well-rounded. Some of our references of places that we work, we do Monongalia County Schools. We do the VA hospital. We work right next door at the Harrison County Commission's office, and we do all of their buildings. We do WVU, SI Group. So we're working in all different markets. So I just wanted to take the time to introduce myself and then our company, and we look forward to any kind of opportunity that we can work in your county.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, next we will move on to Tanya Stewart.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, Mrs. Stutler, Mr. Devano, and board members. I did want to speak to the budget. Most of you know me. It's been a few years since I frequented the boardroom, which may be a relief to some of you. Teaching full-time, being a mom to 2 high schoolers and an elementary schooler has kept me busy, in addition to pursuing my national board certification. As most of you know, it takes a great deal of time to stay connected with the inner workings of school system and its employees. It can take a toll on one's family and responsibilities. Even now, I'm choosing to be here to speak instead of getting across town to Bridgeport High School in time for my daughter's band concert, which I'm probably going to miss. And it's her birthday. Also, I found myself spending a couple of hours reading through 112 pages of a proposed budget document last night, despite papers that I needed to grade, plans I needed to prep, laundry I needed to do, grass I needed to mow, and a million other things. But issues keep falling across my path in conversations with colleagues and even fellow parents. I haven't weighed in, just listened, asked questions, and tried to catch up on all that's been happening. But I feel like my time has come to speak up. First and foremost, I will say that I know firsthand what money comes into the county isn't determined by how much you wish came into the county, that you have no control over that. I know that when you're forced to consolidate schools, for example, it's too late for communities to turn the tide by showing up at the board member's doorstep because the fight was never with you. It's been with Charleston. Generally, people don't get that, but I do. I understand that. And I'm always sure to point it out if the topic arises. Now, with that said, we still have to be good stewards of the pot of money that we do receive. I'm not here to advocate for or against an increase for national board certified teachers, even though I know that that came up recently. I haven't been a part of those conversations. But I will say that for the supplement I have been receiving since January of this year, I worked my tail off for 2.5 years to make it happen. And I know that those folks did as well. I don't share my circumstances for sympathy, but only as an insight as to what many may be experiencing. I've given almost 20 years to this county, have now attained my national board certification, and I try and keep my head somewhere close to the surface of the water. I've had to take on yearbook sponsorship as well as the technology contact position at my school. And this will be my first year of teaching summer school in my career. Within this system, In order to try and hobble along financially, I have to pile these extracurricular pieces on top of a consistent career and top-notch certification. Still, every month it's paycheck to paycheck. I'm grateful for allowances in the budget to pay for these extracurriculars, as well as the board's commitment to providing funds to support NFSA to supplement our health benefits. I have always appreciated the work that Mrs. Stutler and the board members have put in to ensure people keep jobs. I know that it's a delicate balance. For those of us active during the teacher strikes in 2018 and 2019, we unfortunately saw some of this coming for our public school system. I am well aware that unless we have lawmakers who value public education and those who work in that sector, your job and my job will only become more difficult. At the end of the day, lifting the role of educator and making it a desirable profession will strengthen our public school system. This can only happen through proper funding, whether it be salaries or classroom resources, higher education programs that are robust, and positive relationships with our communities. Those are big goals, and we may not be able to affect all of them here in Harrison County, but we can chip away at it. So back to the request to increase the MBCT supplements. In response to that request, it was stated that numerous employees in various classifications who have requested increased salary supplements will further complicate the budget if those requests are granted. Yet somehow within the budget document, there are proposed supplements to positions in this building that contradict that statement. If we can't supplement the hard work and dedication of the boots on the ground folks, how can we supplement anyone right now? Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have Mr. Abels. Abel? Tony Abel? Tony?
Thank you to the board for letting me speak today. I appreciate the opportunity. My name is Tony Abel. I'm with Bento Dental. I am the Senior Vice President of Dental and Vision Benefits for the company. And we've been so proud to be a partner of Harrison County for just wrapping up our first year. As you know, we partnered with the Harrison County School Board starting in July of last year, and we initially administered dental and vision benefits for the county school teachers and their families. And we believe that we've created quite a bit of savings in the first year. We've done that by the fact of our larger dental network. There have been a few small bumps in the road with the vision plan, but I've worked so hard with our VSP vision partners to smooth those out for this year and really, modify the benefits so that it works better for all the employees and their families here. What we're doing is we're looking at ways to use a more broad vision network of vision providers and to yet give the Harrison County employees and their families excellent benefit that hopefully at some point we realize the nice savings that we're giving to them at the same time by having a larger vision network of vision providers and dental providers at the same time. And the cool thing about having a platform like Bento on board, it's a tech-based platform, and we have so much data that's come into us now, and we've realized that there's probably even room for more savings by modifying the benefit further. And we continue to work with Ms. Whitney and her team on figuring out what the best solution for the county school employees and families are in terms of the benefit, the dollars allotted to that fund. And we look at the numbers that we have so far for this year, and of the just over 3,000 total lives that we have on the platform. So far, only 145 of those people have maxed out their dental and vision benefits. It's $1,500 for the entire year. And I look down the line, and the more telling figure that we want to report is that 1,264 people have not used the dental and vision benefit at all. And what we've seen through our experience is that the more dollars you spend on preventive care, the more preventive maintenance you do, the far fewer dollars you spend on restorative care that costs a lot more money for the county. So there's a way we could further partner with the board on email campaigns to the teachers and their families about the fact that preventive care is free on your plan. You have a great dental plan. Why not spend the dollars on preventive care and avoid the larger costs down the road? Something we want to talk about. But also just to come here and say thank you for the opportunity to partner with you guys. We look forward to many more years of successful partnership, and hopefully we can, after the first year, really lay out some data on what we see in terms of the spend and where it's going and how much we're saving year over year. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today. I appreciate it.
All right. Next, we have Mr. Don Myers.
any documentation that I mentioned will be available to you when I'm done. Frank Devano Jr., oath illegal, violates Criminal Code 8-5-8 and 3 codes of Section 6 of the West Virginia State Code. Jenny Santilli has no oath. Tom Tucker has no oath. Douglas Hogue, illegal oath, violates Criminal Code Section 8-5-8, also violates 3 sections of Section 6. Mary Frances Smith, illegal oath, violates Criminal Code Section 8-5-8. Jimmy Lopez, no oath. Doris Stutler, illegal oath, violates Criminal Code 8-5-8 and 3 sections of 6-1. Okay, now, what is the penalty for this? Well, the original Constitution says upon conviction for violating your oath, or you're to be taken by the posse to the nearest tree and hung by the neck until you are dead. No, sir, that's the law.
Is that a threat to
That's
this
the
board?
original Constitution.
Mhm.
Okay?
Be careful,
Now-
please, what you say.
Okay? Now, we've changed that over the years. Now it carries a 10-year penalty. Okay? Now, I'm not asking you to believe me, but I'm 100% right. These papers are what you have to, your oath has, once you're elected, you don't just get to hold office. Okay? Here's what you have to do. You have to qualify to hold office. Okay? That is Section 8-5-8. Okay? Here's the process so y'all know. You must take and confirm an oath, which means you must physically take that oath. You must have a witness. You must have a notary sign it. We put her seal on it and a state seal on it. Now you have a legal document, but you cannot hold office yet. If you are a city official, which you are not, you have to take that to the city clerk, have it filed, recorded, and preserved. But you can still not hold office yet. You have to send a certified copy to the county clerk's office, John Spires' office, to be filed and recorded. Okay? Here's why your oaths are illegal. Okay? If you have no oath at all, you're definitely illegal. You're impersonating a public official. Every act that you made, including calling a meeting, is a felony. Okay? Now, here's why your oaths are illegal. You have 20 days, okay, after you're elected, and you have to complete this process before you take office. Okay? Now, I invite you all to meet me in John Spires' office, okay? And I'll show you exactly how it's done. I'm not here for you. I don't want you, okay? Here's what I want. I want you all to make yourselves legal. Because if you're going to be in my county and run my Board of Education, you're going to have to be, because if not, you're going to be gone. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Next, we have Barbie Paul. Barbie Paul? I do have that here as well, yes. Mhm. Yes, yes. Mhm. Can you set the clock for 10 minutes, please?
Hi, I want to thank you all for this opportunity to be here to speak to the board. What I admire most about South Harrison High School and my Hawk family is that when it counts, we put aside our differences and we stand united for the important matters. Tonight, many of us are here to request reinstatement for one special education teaching position at South Harrison High School. This request is being made based on student needs and current IEP data. I've taught special education for over 20 years, 11 at South Harrison High School, I've experienced 4 special ed state monitorings in Harrison County alone. And I'm currently the special ed department chair at my school. I'm here tonight to share facts about our program that need to be brought to light. After hours and hours of prayerful deliberation, I stand before you with an extremely heavy heart. As I've prayed, I've been reminded of the word truth. Simply tell the truth. Well, truth is, I abhor public speaking, yet I find myself here tonight because you, the board members, need to know the truth. Our special ed population at South Harrison High School is, in fact, continuing to increase in number, even though our overall school enrollment numbers are decreasing. South Harrison High School has increasing student needs in the special education population that simply cannot be met with fewer special education teachers. Students with special needs often require individualized instruction, accommodations, and extra behavior support. Cutting a position at our school will reduce the school's ability to meet those needs with legal and educational obligations. Initially, we were told by Mrs. Miller and Mrs. Knight to just show need for the position and that our school could have it reinstated if needed. In response, we have provided to both women data based on our students' IEP services and drafted a master schedule, which you will receive later tonight from my principal when he speaks. In that master schedule for next year, given current student IEP needs, we need 15 core co-taught classes, 7 small special education classes, and 6 alternate standards classes. This is simple math. We only have 4.5 special education teachers currently at our school. When you eliminate one of only 4.5 teachers, it eliminates 6 teaching classes, 6 blocks of special ed classes of the 28 that we need to meet our IEP needs. There definitely is a need for this position in our school. Unfortunately, what has happened is some, not all, but a few county level supervisors who should be supporting our school have instead been circulating inaccurate information to you, the board members, on behalf of South Harrison and their student needs. They want you to believe that it is necessary to split co-teachers between 2 classes to avoid over-servicing general education classes. Contrary to what you've been told, to my knowledge, it was not a state monitoring finding at our school about over-servicing co-teaching minutes. I've met at length with Tanya Eve and discussed with Susie Miller, and never once has it been mentioned over-servicing general ed classes. However, when the master schedule came out, it's now being recommended to split co-teachers between 2 classes. 45 minutes one way, 45 minutes the other seems like an easy fix. Liberty's done it. Other high schools have done it. That would meet the school's legal obligations, supposedly, to this lack of teaching. However, that is not best practice for our students, and it is not what is agreed upon by our parents in many of the IEP meetings. Without co-teaching for the entire 90-minute instructional periods, the students with disabilities oftentimes fall behind academically and socially. They lack sufficient support, which leads to lower test scores, lower graduation rates, and most importantly, lowered self-esteem. Special education teachers serve as vital consultants to the general education teachers, as well as share the responsibilities of all classroom instruction. At South Harrison High School, IEPs are written with a team, with the children's best interests in mind, a team comprised of students, teachers, administrators, parents, therapists, and related agencies. Each IEP is individualized for the student's needs to promote their academic success in their least restrictive environment. If this teaching position isn't reinstated in accordance to their current IEP needs, they will not be met. Or the IEPs would need rewritten based on a staffing reduction. It's illegal. You either are implementing a current IEP or you're denying faith. I know you guys want it to be something else, but the choice is either implement the IEPs, which requires 4.5 teachers at our school, or you will be denying our students equitable access to free, appropriate public education in their least restrictive environment. Cutting our special education disproportionately impacts the most vulnerable population in our school, and it undermines our school's commitment to inclusiveness and equal opportunity to all students. This cut will also overburden the remaining staff. General education teachers and special education teachers alike will be spread way too thin. Without proper intervention, the individualized attention for consistent co-teaching within the entire block, behavior challenges tend to escalate, thereby infecting everyone in that classroom. There's plenty of people at the administration level that are not teaching children and not working in the schools daily. They want you to believe that cutting a teaching position will resolve our county's budget deficit. Short-term budget savings, could cost you litigation and compensatory services and corrective actions later if the IEPs are not properly implemented. We, the teachers, the parents, are the taxpayers' dollars that pay the county people's salaries, and tens and thousands of dollars I've witnessed now being given out in county level stipends. The truth is, what we need instead of cutting teaching positions is better appropriation of the district funding in order to save teaching jobs. It's not a staffing issue, it's a misappropriation of money issue, in my opinion. I stand before you tonight not to condemn you, but to speak for my students who are unable to stand here and speak for themselves, ones you may see in the audience tonight with us. I'm reminded of the words of Pastor Niemöller. First, they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the communists, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the trade unionists. I didn't speak out because I wasn't a trade unionist. And then they came for me, and no one else was left to speak out for me. Well, tonight, I stand here with my fellow colleagues in united love and support of our students and in support of their needs. No matter what your decision, whether you reinstate our staff member or not, I'll be able to know that I've done all that I could to speak up for my students and to stand up for their educational rights. When we face our students in the morning, we who speak here tonight will know that we have done our very best to attempt to ensure that their services and their education that they so freely deserve and by law are entitled to are protected. Most importantly, we will stand one day, everyone in here before God, and on that day, I desperately want his reply to me to be, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." Therefore, I humbly ask you, as the board, based on our current South Harrison student IEP needs as listed in their IEPs, please reinstate this position at our school for next school year. Thank you.
All right, next we have Leah Michael.
Oops, wrong way. Good evening. If this district cannot implement the plan students already have, and I'm speaking to the IEPs and 504s, how will it meet legal obligations after cutting the very staff responsible for them? My name is Leah Michael, and I'm a parent of a student in this district with a documented disability. Your own proposed budget acknowledges that staffing is directly tied to student need and that positions added to meet those needs may now be eliminated. So again, I have to ask, how will you meet your legal obligations to students with disabilities when the very staff required to provide those services are reduced? I am here because this year I have had to fight for something that should never require a fight. my child's access to his education. My son has dyslexia, dysgraphia, and ADHD. He has had a 504 plan in place, yet his accommodations have not been consistently implemented across his classes. And this is not a one-time issue. It has been a pattern. And it did not start this year. For years, I raised concerns that my son may have dyslexia. Those concerns were dismissed by the school, and they did not move forward with testing. Even after a teacher later acknowledged those concerns, evaluation still did not happen. I had to ultimately seek a private evaluation at my own expense just to get answers. I was told he did not qualify for an IEP because he was too smart. That statement was made in a meeting with district level personnel present when he was in the 4th grade. I trusted that guidance at the time, however ignorant I may have been. But now in 7th grade, after I personally pushed for a full evaluation, he has been found eligible for services he has needed for years. That matters because those needs did not suddenly appear in the 7th grade. They were there and they were not acted on. We are seeing the impact of that now. So it looks like a child who understands the material, but he can't show what he's being asked. Not because he can't learn, but because he's not being given access. We are not talking about optional supports here. We are talking about access to education. Under Section 504 and IDEA, that access requires consistent implementation and instruction that actually addresses a student's needs. What I experienced this year required multiple meetings just to try to get basic compliance with an existing plan. It required outside advocacy, again, at my own expense, just to ensure my child's needs were appropriately addressed because I kept on getting dismissed. I have been able to push back, seek evaluations, and obtain supports, but many families can't. When systems are not working as they should, it doesn't create inconvenience, it creates inequity. It means the students whose families don't have the time, resources, or knowledge to fight are the ones who quietly receive less than they need. Even with current staffing, there are gaps. Plans are not consistently implemented and students are not receiving the instructions that they need. And that brings me back to this budget, which describes the district at being at a critical juncture, while also acknowledging strain on staffing and services. Staffing is not just a line item, it is a mechanism by which students receive their legally required services. So when staffing is reduced, access is reduced. And when access is reduced for students with disabilities, that is not just a budget issue, it's a compliance issue. So because support is not the same as implementation, or is not the same as instruction, and oversight is not the same as implementation, we do not need another layer. We need execution in the classrooms. This is not a budget issue. It's a priority issue at this point. Because when students are not receiving services they are legally entitled to, that is not about funding. It is about what is being prioritized. My child is capable, and in my case, those needs were identified years ago, but they weren't acted on by this district. And it just happens to be West Milford Elementary and South Harrison Middle School. So my child is capable of learning. The question is whether this system will finally prioritize giving him access to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have Dr. Chasty.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Michelle Chasty, and I'm not only a math teacher at South Harrison High School, but I'm also the mom of an autistic, ADHD, sensory deficit disorder, food allergy, and pica middle schooler. As we begin the process of developing our master schedule, we were informed that the vacancy in special education that is currently filled by substitutes would not be filled next year. As we have worked to develop a master schedule, the failure to fill this position has made it impossible to meet the needs of both general education and special education students. In creating a master schedule that meets the needs of the self-contained or special education students, the school has lost several sections of general education classes, including math, and at least one section of career and technical education, AP government, and sections of driver's education. Another math teacher will also have to pick up sections of personal finance. The shift of regular education teachers to special education and other core class sections also means that South Harrison High School cannot offer as many regular education courses as it once did, further segregating this school from the rest of the county, offering fewer and fewer classes that the rest of the county schools offer. The remaining special education teachers can only be scheduled for a certain number of co-taught classes. This means that hard choices have to be made. The same opportunities for co-taught classes in all the core classes, math, English, science, and social studies, are significantly limited by the available of special education minutes available by the co-teacher. By not offering the same curricular offerings to both general education and special education students, we are segregating our special education population solely because of the lack of available co-taught sections, and the special education students will then travel in a group all together, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. If the co-teacher's presence for an entire class period is necessary for a student to make meaningful progress, the team has to figure out how to provide it. Many of our co-taught students need the support of our co-teachers every day that they are in our classrooms. While self-contained minutes are written for the duration of an entire period, many co-taught sections have been dictated at far fewer than that. Furthermore, if the next in-course series is needed, for example, Algebra 2 after Geometry or Physical Science after Biology, but a co-taught section is not offered because of no available teacher, the special education student is no longer being given the same opportunities as the general education student. It has been suggested that our co-teachers be split between at least 2 classes. This special education teacher who is shared between these classes now has to modify twice as many assignments, twice as many tests, twice as many quizzes, twice as many projects. Who is going to compensate this teacher for doubling the amount of work that now has to be done by being split between 2 classes? What happens when both teachers have tests, projects, or quizzes that fall on the same day or back-to-back days? Which teacher is going to have to change their lesson plans to make these accommodations because a special education teacher cannot be in 2 places at once? Who will be there to support the additional students that they are now required to support? And what if students need the support multiple days? What if a test has extended time, which quite often runs into a second day? What if the second teacher has something planned? Now, what is that co-teacher supposed to do? How do they choose between who to service, the first student who started the test or the second student who needs to start a test? And what happens when these continue to run over and over throughout the entire marking period, day after day, class after class? When examining caseloads, the severity of the disability, self-contained, or general education placements and needed accommodations are not taken into accommodation or into consideration. A special educator can have a maximum of 30 students on their caseload. We ask our special educators to understand and track progress towards every academic goal, set regular meetings with students on their caseload, keep in contact with parents and guardians, schedule meetings, track implementation and accommodations and service plans across classes. If one of these educators has multiple students with extremely high needs or high disorders, how can that special educator effectively service their classes, the co-teaching responsibilities, and all the kids on their caseloads? Our self-contained and special education population is approximately 23%. We respectfully ask that South Harrison High School be allowed to repost the special education position that is currently staffed with retired special educators and fill the vacancy for our 26-27 school year. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Michelle Graham.
Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for your time and for your continued service to our community. And thank you so much to all of the educators from South Harrison High School who are here fighting for not only my students, but the other students in that area of the county. My name is Michelle Graham, and I'm speaking tonight as a concerned parent and foster parent. I'm here to speak about the proposed staffing cuts at South Harrison High School and the very real impact that they will have on our most vulnerable students, particularly children in foster care and students with special needs. My home is a place of stability and healing for children who have experienced profound trauma. Many of these children come to us with complex emotional, behavioral, and educational needs that require consistency and specialized support. Fostering is not a temporary phase for my family. We'll continue caring for trauma-affected children for special needs for many years. This is not something that my children and my family will age out of this district. Because of that, we rely on our public schools as essential partners in our children's education and recovery. When resources are reduced, the harm extends beyond a single classroom or school year for my children. It is also important to understand the unique limitations foster families face. Foster children are required by law and agency policy to attend their school in their assigned district. We do not have the option to seek another system if our local schools cannot meet their needs. If supports are lost here, our children have nowhere else to turn. Recently, I was informed that the high school may no longer be able to offer specific classes that my child requires because of the elimination of a special education position. This is deeply concerning to me. For students who have experienced trauma or learned differently, these services are a lifeline. These services provide the individualized instruction and emotional support that makes graduation and future independence possible. Eliminating these positions does more than balance a budget. It removes critical support and sends a message that helping students in need is optional. I urge you to consider the human cost of these decisions, the cost to my family, the cost to other families in my district. The students most impacted by staffing cuts are often the least visible and least able to advocate for themselves. I was once told that if I didn't advocate for my children, who would? And I've taken that and run with it ever since. By protecting special education staffing and services, you affirm that every child, regardless of circumstance, trauma history, or learning needs, deserves a safe, supportive, and meaningful education. Thank you for your time and consideration. I respectfully ask that you vote to protect special education programs and the future of students who depend on them.
Thank you. Mr. Keener?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Thank you for hearing me out today. I had a speech written, and I'm going to throw that out the window, and I'm going to go a little impromptu here. You may have heard a rumor that I do not have a schedule. That is incorrect. I've got numerous schedules. The problem is none of them worked except for two. I did get a schedule to work without this position in place, but I had to pull regular educators to teach special ed classes. That cost us a lot of electives and a lot of opportunity for our upper level students. When I did create a schedule with this position re-added to it, things worked out beautifully, things balanced. We're able to bring back AP classes. I've got kids wanting to go over to Bridgeport and take classes that we can't offer. I really don't want to lose my upper level kids because we can't offer positions that offer things to their needs. So I did reach out to my supervisors, and we ended up in a discrepancy over a single word. And board members, superintendent, I have provided you with a copy of page 98 from Special Ed Policy 2419. Specifically, the underlined word, both teachers should be assigned to the classroom for the full duration of the instructional period. Well, as a teacher before I became a principal, I love vocabulary. So the word should is a modal verb used to express a few related ideas. One, advice or recommendation, obligation or duty, expectation or likelihood, something that is ideal or correct. Should suggests what is right, expected, or advisable, but is not absolutely required. But if you told people that they should get paid on Friday and they didn't, they would be pretty upset. If you should drive 70 miles an hour down the interstate and you're doing 80, there will be consequences. If you should behave in school and you don't, there are consequences. I was asked to design a master schedule that is not based on best practice. I am having a difficult time with that. Additionally, I heard that we were dinged by the State Department for over-servicing our kids. Well, that is correct. In another handout that I've provided to you, there's a blanked out IEP. This student transferred into South Harrison High School from RCB. It was written by another school, not ours. And yes, that was a ding. That's for SEE minutes, not for GEE minutes. There's a huge discrepancy between the two. Apples and oranges, they are not the same, different policy. But we will correct that, not a problem. So I have Attached also a copy of the administrative findings for you. There are 3 of those. None of those mention over-servicing. We cannot over-service in a GEE classroom. Additionally, one final attachment that I have here for you, we have pulled IEPs written by every high school in this county. If you look at the top from Lincoln, they are servicing their kids 225 minutes per week. Liberty, only 100 minutes per week. So if they're in there more than a day and 10 minutes in a block schedule, they are over-servicing, which is not a thing. If you look at WI Middle to RCB, they are servicing 225 per week. Then at the bottom, if you look at Bridgeport High School, they are servicing their kids 450 minutes per week. That means every single minute of every single period of every single day, 5 days a week, there should be a special educator in that classroom servicing those kids. The second they step out to go to the restroom, the second that they deal with a disciplinary issue in the hallway, or if they take a phone call, they are in violation of Special Ed Policy 2419 and are not meeting those required minutes. I would not recommend writing it for 450 because that's every single minute. We are wanting to change our IEPs to reflect what we have offered to our parents and what their understanding was. In all of the IEP meetings that we've held, there will be a co-teacher in there to help and support your kids so they are successful. So the parents have demanded that we change those minutes from our 220, 225 to a 360, which is 4 days and allows for a meeting, a snow day, a school play, something like that. A teacher could step out and hold an IEP meeting, and we are still compliant with the state policy 2419. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. All right, next we have Jalen Smith.
Good evening, Superintendent Stutler and Board of Education members. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you and express my gratitude for allowing me to speak tonight. My name is Jalen Smith. I currently serve as the Student Body President at RCB. I am also a member of the National Honor Society, and that is why I'm here today. I come to you on a matter of slight urgency as we are coming upon graduation pretty quickly. I'm here to represent the members of the society not holding an officer position, particularly the 28 seniors who signed the petition regarding distinctive recognition for this accomplishment. When I was elected as student body president in May of 2025, I promised I would speak for all students, be a voice for those not being heard, and that's my why. In addition to those present tonight, thank you, many others wanted to be here as well. However, due to their involvement in the school, they have prior commitments. Stated in the bylaws of our chapter, Article 6, Section 4, chapter members who are seniors in good standing shall be granted the privilege of wearing honor cords and or stoles at graduation. Officers will be privileged of wearing medallions. It is told that for 15 years at RCB, officers have worn the medallions and the stoles, as other members just wear the cord. We, of course, are gracious for the cord, but it is hard to distinguish what the cord may be for in a crowd of 200 kids. When we learned this in January, we expressed our concerns with the advisor, and we were brushed off, being told that with 41 members on the field, all wearing stoles will look messy in pictures. After this interaction, a fellow member, Ms. Harold, who will also be speaking today, went to our administration and in return left with no progress with this issue, but that this is not a fashion show. This is insulting because none of us see it that way. This is an opportunity to showcase our devotion we have given to scholarship, service, leadership, and character on one of the most important days of our lives. The history of stoles stretches across centuries, tying together academic traditions and celebration. These garments are not just decorative, they tell stories of achievement, belonging, and honor. After being pushed away so many times with this concern, a petition was started. 28 out of 42 senior members, including one officer, that is 2/3 of our society, were also shocked to see that we would not be granted the regalia with the words National Honor Society written on it, that we had all thought we would receive. When we offered to fundraise, if it were to be a financial issue, we were ignored. Last week, we were even told that not even the order for cords have been placed. Graduation is May 22nd. This is in no disrespect to anyone involved. The advisor is new to this, and we thank her for stepping in this year in a time of need. I feel it is not unreasonable to have passion for everyone to be recognized for this honor that we all earned respectfully this year and upcoming. We even have signatures of members next year that will be facing this issue. We appreciate the opportunity to have our concerns heard, and we are optimistic that you will take the appropriate action. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Julia Harold.
Hello, my name is Julia Harold, and I would like to say thank you to the board for giving us the opportunity to present our petition to allow National Honor Society chapter members to wear stoles at graduation. Since January, I've worked hard to advocate for the National Honor Society stoles to be worn at graduation in place of gold cords. I reached out to the National Honor Society advisor and the principal, hoping they would listen to students and recognize our significance of displaying the National Honor Society emblem on our cap and gown. In response, I was told that providing stoles would create a financial burden, and was also told that graduation is not a fashion show. I pleaded with the principal that we could fundraise or find a sponsor, but none of it was taken into consideration. This request is from me and the 29 other students who also believed we should be allowed to wear National Honor Society stoles at graduation. I created a petition, and more than half of the chapter signed it in support. I believed I was doing the right thing by showing leadership and representing what the students wanted. However, I was told that I was forcing students to sign, which was never my intention. At this point, I started to feel discouraged and worried that our petition would not be taken seriously. I continued to check in weekly with the director, hoping for an update from the principal, but each time I received the same response. Nothing has been approved. So we are asking the board today to give us whatever help they could to get the National Honor Society stoles approved so that many members can proudly represent their years of hard work, service, and achievements at graduation. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Sam Harold.
Thank you to the board for letting me speak. I'm actually here in support of my daughter, Julia, who just spoke. Julia and members of the National Honor Society, RCB, have requested to wear stoles at graduation. Stoles are authorized by their bylaws, but it has to have the approval of the principal. Stoles have been worn in the past, and they've been approved in the past. And when Julia met some resistance about it, she went on her own volition and circulated a petition, which we've got a copy of, and I'd like to leave a copy with the board today. When this was brought up, this has been going on since January. It's not a recent issue, but she was discouraged from submitting the petition because she told she was going to get answers to it. And as of today, we still don't have answers to it. I'm an attorney by trade, and in the legal profession, we have a litmus test, which is you always do what is in the best interest of the child. And what is in the best interest of the kids is to encourage them, promote them, and make them feel as if they're going to be better adults in life. I believe my daughter did the right thing. I think the students who signed the petition, who are members of the National Honor Society, did the right thing. I think this is what they want. And I don't understand and cannot comprehend why the administration at RCB can't respond appropriately to it and encourage the students. This is for them. And, not approving it just doesn't make any sense. I would ask the board to please do whatever the board could do to help get this process approved. I think it's appropriate, it's permissible, and it does encourage the students. It recognizes who they are and what their achievements have been. I thank you for hearing from me today. I think I've got a copy of the petition. I'd like to leave a copy of it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Excuse me.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our delegations. Brings us down to superintendent's update.
Yeah, for superintendent's update, I just want to start out by saying thank you to our teachers and staff. It is Staff Appreciation Week, and I think tonight at the beginning of our board meeting, we got to see a lot of our great teachers and staff in action. So thank you so much for that. I know most of the schools are taking care of it and doing a lot of different things at their level to recognize our teachers and staff. So thank you for that. Also, it is a Mental Health Awareness Month. I know some of the activities going on and some of the things being promoted is also for that. So just want to say that and appreciate that. Also, just to update the board, there was a question a couple months ago about the 21st Century Grant that runs our Project Isaac. Right now it's being operated at Liberty Middle. We did resubmit for that, and it's a big process. Millie Michael worked on that. We talked about the scope of that. It's been submitted. I went into the grant system, and the state has it right now. So hopefully we'll know. Probably won't be till June before we find out if we got that grant. So just an update on that. Also, if you were able to attend the Hope Academy programming that we had.
Pathway.
Well, it's the Pathway. That's been different names, but it's the Hope Pathways or the Hope Academy. We're excited to roll that out. It was a quick turnaround on getting the curriculum and things done, but I can tell you that Hope Gas is a partner in this. They're just top notch. Everything that they do has just been extraordinary. They're going to be a great partner, and most of all, it will benefit our students greatly. And hopefully with the expansion in years to come, we can bring in more students to that program. But we had our first 14 inaugural students sign up for that, and it's going to be exciting. That will start next school year. So thank you to Hope Gas and our partners out there. Thank you to the Education Alliance. Thank you to Mrs. Knight for putting together that, or working with the state on the curriculum and making sure that we had a pathway for that. It's been a lot of work in a short amount of time, but I believe it has come together. So just an update on that. If you're able to come, Dr. Santilli was there. It was just a phenomenal event. It was just really top notch. Also, I talked with Lola Brown. She did not, I don't believe she came to the meeting, but we were talking about our ELPA testing, our ELPA 21 for our English language learners, and she shared her information. I did not make a copy of that, but she did a 4-year trend and gave me the proficiency level of that. I'll get you a copy of this, but we're seeing great gains in our English language learners, and she was just excited and brought it down for me to see. I'm assuming this is public information right now if they put it out with the rest of the tests. But we had 123 students in our EL program. 92 of them right now are progressing at a rate that is, these are some non-English speaking students, but 92 of those students are really doing well and progressing. We had 16 students that tested proficient, so which is excellent. And then we've got 15 students that are working still to get to that progressing level. And just to let you know, we have 5 EL teachers that are working, and it's a big job to make sure that we're meeting needs of students across the county. A lot of different languages, a lot of things they have to work on. So they just finished the ELPA testing. That usually happens about the same time we're doing our summative assessment. So thank you to the schools that have worked with our EL teachers to make that happen, because there's a lot of scheduling and things that need to happen for that. Also, we have an update from want to tell them about hearings for personnel? We have another hearing date on the 19th, April 19th. Yeah, so we have some non-renewals, and so you'll be getting that schedule. But just to let you know, there is still more personnel to come, and that'll be April the 19th. Did you have any follow-ups on personnel?
May.
Oh, yeah, May. I'm a whole month behind. The seniors out there would go, oh my gosh, we're back to April. Jalen, you guys want to go back to April? Maybe, right? Extend your senior year. So, yep, I'm a whole month behind. Good. And in our summer staffing, we did have to, I mean, it's been cut back some because of just the funding from the grants that were available. So appreciate staff willing to work over the summer to help extend education for our kids. Mr. Kozik, do you have a facilities update?
Yeah, briefly, we've got a couple things to discuss. We'll tell you about RCD project, after expansion, first area, that's well on its way. A lot of trucks moving in, trucks moving out, a lot of earth forecasting right now. So once that happens, I think things will along pretty well. Secondly, we have, we're about ready to start the year entry at Bridgeport Middle School. Those plans are about wrapped up, so we're ready to get started there. Still have surveyors in at Bridgeport High School, or between Bridgeport High School and Bridgeport Middle School, surveying some property down through there, looking for underground utilities, lines, things like that. May or may not get away, so we want to make sure that we know where they are. Liberty Middle School, that's all been buttoned up with their security, as well as down here on Ridge, it's all been buttoned up. So that's in brief an update of what we all.
We're finishing up some SBA contracts and we're beginning with new ones. So that's exciting.
We're working on the air
Okay. I think finance, I think we discussed finance and the budget and all the things. If you have additional questions, just send them our way. And once you find anything, you can send them to us and we'll get you more answers before we have a final vote on that budget at the next meeting. Also, I've provided with you, it was asked for building capacity. You should have that for all of the schools. That's our current, and that's from the CEFP. So hopefully you have those to look at. What is that? Oh, yeah. So that was asked, so you should have that. Also, I just have to say, speaking of seniors that are here, and I've had the opportunity on Sunday afternoon to work with the Harrison County Student Achievement. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes for that, where students are awarded. There was a lot of scholarships given out on Sunday, and I've gotten to see some of the students throughout the day even for getting those awards. And that's a long-standing 35-year tradition. And we were asked on Sunday, does that happen in other counties? And we're like, I don't believe so. I believe it's something that Harrison County does, but that could not happen without all of the business and sponsors. It was just unreal, the amount of sponsors that gave scholarships to our students that are sorely needed. And if you're a parent out there and you have a child going to college, you'll understand. Or if you've had one in college, every dollar counts that we can give. And the Harrison County Student Achievement Group, they pretty much meet all year and take those applications. But there were over 70 scholarships given that day. It was just a phenomenal, you can't explain how the students coming in and just how respectful and grateful and accepting those. It was well attended by the parents and guardians of the kids. It was just a great afternoon. And it's always fun when you're giving out money anyway. So I'd always say those scholarships are money for you to use for incidentals and things that you don't have to tie to tuition and things like that. And I made an offer to a few of them to, if you take half, I'll take half. But I didn't have one of them say, hey, I think that's a good idea. So we had a great guest speaker there too. So it was just a great event. And then I want to also tell you before I get finished, today I was invited to go to Lincoln, and I get to do this every year. There's a Richardson Trust scholarship that they do, and I get to interview the kids involved, and I'm telling you, when you watch our kids performing and all the awards that they won here, it's no wonder. I individually sat down with students there, and how do you pick? I mean, they're just excelling and doing great things in this county. Very understated. They weren't bragging. And I asked one today, I said, what was your GPA? And she just nonchalantly said a 4.25. And they all have goals set, and you just can see success all around. And so the folks that I got to interview this morning, and that opportunity was just wonderful. And I can't say enough about the teachers that were there, that came in and brought the students in. And I will tell you, every one of those students that I talked to thanked their teachers and thanked the school for caring for them and for helping them get to where they are. So that's probably the biggest testament for Teacher Appreciation Week and for Staff Appreciation Week was the students that I met today. So thank you to Lincoln for that invitation. It was a highlight for sure. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have our consent items. Is there a motion to approve the consent items as presented by the superintendent?
I so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. New business, out-of-state professional leave request. Is there a motion to approve the out-of-state professional leave request?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
You know how much this is? Or it says district pays up front.
What's
What
the
does that mean?
cost? It's $1,200. So the total cost is estimated at $1,200, which will be funded through federal programs.
The federal programs? Oh. Where did you see that?
In
It's
the,
in the description. It's in the description.
Okay. I
They
missed
didn't put
it.
it in a little box for you.
Okay, thanks.
okay.
Oh, got
Any
it.
further discussion?
Sorry.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the authorization for Bridgeport High School to issue a purchase order utilizing their school funds to purchase a football video scoreboard from BSN Sports, utilizing the Omnia purchasing contract for a total cost of $217,175. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Yes. Please explain a little more in detail as to the funding and where the funding is coming from.
First of all, it has to be put on the board because it's over $100,000, so the board has to approve it in accordance with policy 8200. And I want to appreciate the administrative team for working with Ms. Fratto, our purchasing director, and making sure that that occurred. They have been raising money for their scoreboard, and so they have $101,000 sitting there. They have some additional pledges, but it hasn't come in yet. They want to get the project started, so they're saying that they do have money in their general athletics account, and so they're putting that up until they get the other pledge money in. That they have in their school system, at their school account that they direct to purchase the scoreboard.
Okay. Are there any further questions? The quote is in front of you. I'm assuming this is the breakdown. All right. If there are no further questions, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Art textbook and instructional materials adoption. Is there a motion to approve the art textbook and instructional materials adoption? The elementary adoption for Davis Art, approximate cost $42,348.50. Secondary adoption, Davis Art, approximate cost $45,751.55. Is there a motion?
I so moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes,
Mr. Tucker?
just to let the general public know where this money's coming from, so everyone will know that.
Money for
Yes, the money
instructional
for the
materials.
instructional materials.
It's in our
The whole,
levy.
the whole shebang,
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a levy call. We can only use it for textbooks, instructional materials, so
Or
not for
earmarked.
personnel. It's earmarked for that already.
Mhm.
And we have to adopt every so many years. It's a requirement by state code.
That's the same for CE.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I said for the whole shebang. I guess I needed to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next
For the
textbook
health,
adoptions we
The
have as
same
well.
pot of money
Art,
from,
health.
The
yes.
levy funds, yes.
yes.
The excess, let's clarify,
Yeah.
excess levy.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the elementary health textbook and instructional materials adoption. You have that in front of you. Total cost for the 26-27 health education instructional materials adoption for grades K through 12 approximates at $47,970.30. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Secondary health and wellness textbook and instructional materials adoption. Total cost for the proposed 2026 through 2031 health and wellness education instructional materials adoption for grades 6 through 12 approximates $105,853.59. Purchasing access for the full adoption period provides a discount of approximately $264,422.61 over the course of the adoption. There's no storage cost for printed materials. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Yes, can you talk about the length of the adoption period? What's the 2026 to 2031? So what's the total cost of, so the discount is approximately 264,000 over the course of that time frame.
That's the price.
That's just the discount.
Right.
Oh.
So what are we talking about total price wise?
Total cost of proposed 2631 health and wellness education instructional to adoption grades 6 through 12, approximate $105,853.59.
Okay. So, all right.
How could we get it?
So how are we getting the $264,000 deduction?
Because we're
Discount.
paying for it all now instead of segregating it out over the course of life. If we would pay it each year,
Mhm.
we would pay an additional $264,000.
So it's $105,000 a year.
No, it'd be.
No.
That's the discount.
Yes.
The total price is the $105,000.
Okay, so then what is it per year if we wouldn't pay?
It's
Upfront.
that plus the 264 divided by the adoption year.
Okay, thank you. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Elementary music textbook adoption. You have in front of you the total cost of the proposed music education instructional materials adoption for grades K through 5 approximates at $14,400 annually for the adoption period. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Maybe note Mr. Hoag's absence. Secondary, next we have the secondary music textbook and instructional materials. Total cost for the proposed music education instructional materials adoption for grades 6 through 12 approximates $27,562 annually for the adoption period. Is there a motion to approve?
I so moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, what's U Studio?
U
I looked that
Studios.
up.
You don't know either?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
who? Shelley. Yeah, she would have been.
Any further discussions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Noting Mr. Hoag's absence. No. All right. Next, we have, I'm sorry.
Is he okay?
Yeah. I'm assuming,
Okay.
yeah. Next, we have personal finance, textbook, and instructional materials adoption. Is there a motion to approve the total cost of the proposed 2026 through 2031 personal finance instructional materials adoption for grades 9 through 12 at approximately $107,070?
I so moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we have Clerk of the Works for RCB Renovations. In front of you, you have a recommended purchase order for Jane McCoy to complete professional services for the Clerk of the Works on Robert C. Byrd renovations not to exceed of $120,000. Have the executive content in front of you. Is there a motion to approve?
I so moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, brings us down to the RCB National Honor Society. I asked that this be put on the agenda because I've had some people reach out to discuss some of the concerns with me. I'd like some clarification. I'd like to understand why why we have factions that are going both directions. Academically, this is the highest honor that a student can receive in the course of their educational career. To me, it seems easy. I don't understand why we are having why we're not getting the information that's needed to get. I don't understand what the situation is.
We did look at the bylaws, and I think ultimately the bylaws state that, and I've heard different things. I believe we have pictures and things too from years back. We've talked to the sponsor there. I've also talked to a teacher that's been there for a while, because he happened to just be in here for graduation requirements. And ultimately, it does say for the local chapter that the principal makes the final decision. And that's it's in their bylaws that it states that. So we have to be careful because it is a school level decision. They run their own chapters, they write their own bylaws, and it's adopted at the school level. Pam, you know more about the national part of that you've researched, because we were just trying to get to the bottom of it as well. My understanding is that the honor students generally, and I think one of the students alluded to that the honor students get a stole that's gold that says honor on it. They wear that. The National Honor Society students, and she says it'll just maybe not be noticed as much, is the cord, and then the officers get the medallion. And my understanding is that they either had a medallion or the stole if they were officers in the past. There was last year. It's not a new practice. Yeah, it's not a new practice.
Other than the medallion, is there a difference in distinction in members of the National Honor Society? From the officers to the members? Because that's what I'm understanding.
The cords.
The cords?
They wear the cords.
Okay.
They wear the cords.
Okay, so the request has been made for the stoles, all right? Is there a financial issue like was being brought up?
That was not aware of the financial issue or why that was. I
Sounded
believe
like it was a fashion statement, which I don't get.
we did, Dr. Looker was in and she said that they had decided on the medallions for the officers and it has not changed from traditional, what they've done in the past.
But I've
And
seen
it's a standard.
a photo of National Honor Society students with a different stole. that
Were
not
they
officers.
They were not
They're
officers?
not officers, no.
No. Bridgeport, they.
Well,
So-
we're talking about, Robert, each
Oh, okay, I see what
school,
you mean.
each school is very particular from the national level. The school has their own chapter and that school creates their own bylaws and they do their own.
But according to
thing.
what the young lady said, the officers could do the medallion and the stole, but not the cord.
It says-
And then the other ones could do the cord and the stole if they
And/or
weren't an
It
officer.
says medallion and/or stoles. It does say that in the bylaws. I believe the administration.
Sure.
It made that.
But I don't understand, why can't they wear it?
that's where I'm at. A situation in regards to something that we can look at and say yes for the students and honor them. We had how many honors tonight that we honored
Right.
students with? And overall, the academic honor is the most important thing that we can bestow upon our kids. So if there is some kind of honor that they can receive to distinguish themselves, to me, it's easy. But I understand, I understand that there is a school level decision here. I get that. All right. What I can't understand is the pushback as to why it's been done in the past in certain occasions, but now it's not being done because of tradition. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Mr. President, Mrs. Stutler, did, when you looked at these pictures, did you see a fashion show from years past?
I really only looked at one set of pictures, and it was last graduation. I looked at them. I believe Brooke Welling, the sponsor there, sent some pictures to Mrs. Knight. And I did speak with a teacher that's been there for a long time about what their traditions were, and he said they had a discussion as a faculty that it was, they wanted to streamline and trim down and not have all these things on because it was getting almost too much, and that was a decision that was kind of made. But he said as far as the Honor Society, that's always been the chapter decision, sponsor, and the, so.
What color is this National Honor Society stole?
Is it white? White with the emblem in the middle? The honor stoles that they're wearing, all students, what's the grade point average? Did they tell you? 3.5, get the yellow stoles that say honor.
Which is my understanding, all National Honor Society students
Will get
will
the
have an
yellow.
honors.
They will
Right.
get that.
Right.
The only,
I was also told they're having their senior assembly, and these aren't even been awarded yet. Like, they haven't even given out what their stoles and their cords and things would be. But
How much is a stole, the collar stole?
did you find them in white?
So we're talking, you got 42 members, $1,000. I can't see how that can be a burden. But again, I mean, we are
And
trying to
they
be
paid for the
financially
majority.
responsible.
well, I
They paid
mean,
for the
I don't,
majority of it.
that was not brought to
Is
my
it
attention that
an
it was a
issue for
problem.
the students to pay for all of it?
No, they're not. No, they're not. No. No, they're not. I would ask that we have somebody.
We've researched, would you like to say any more, Pam? I know you've been really working and met with, we had Dr. Looker in here for another meeting, and we had a discussion about it. And that was their decision as a school, because ultimately in the bylaws, it says the principal makes the final decision. So we rewrite the bylaws?
No, I'm not suggesting that. That has to go through the democratic process.
Yeah.
Right? But I also know that a petition with 2/3 of the signatures saying that they want this is also part of the democratic process. So.
She didn't even address the petition with
Yeah, I
us.
don't-
Yeah, I'm not sure. Did Brooke Welling, was she
No.
aware of the petition?
No, they were aware of the petition, but they never addressed it with me. The one thing is, the national organization has in its constitution and in its bylaws, the specific statement that all of the decisions are made at the school level by the principal. That deals with all of their activities and so on. If somebody else would step in and start to make that decision for them, then that school could lose their chapter status
I
with
get that.
National Honor Society.
I'm not
okay?
suggesting that we come in and overrule anyone. I'm suggesting we find out why it's such a big deal.
And I think that when they showed me the pictures and made me copies from back from 2012 forward, there was a stole that they wore, but it had RCB on it. The honor students, the National Honor Society students wore the cords. And that's in every picture up until 2024. And that was where the officers or the National Honor Society stole. Every honor student gets the gold honor cord that they wear, or stole that they wear, that says honors on it. So that is still in place. That's still intact. They will still wear that. But they were giving the cords for the National Honor Society students. And it doesn't have to be a stole. The National Honor Society organization does not require the stole. They can choose whatever they want. They can have nothing but a pin to wear. So that was the decision that lay with the administration at Robert C. Byrd.
So at this point then, the answer is stoles. I'm sorry, cords.
Cords.
That's what the principal
And
has
they, and
decided.
the officers, did she say they ordered the medallion?
Yes.
Yes, for the
They were
four
getting
officers.
medallions for them.
Okay. So just my last final comments. Shouldn't be coming before us. This should not be
Thinking the
here.
very same thing.
We shouldn't have to be here talking about this. But I do feel that it was important to put on the agenda because there's concerns about it at the school level. And what if we are not trying to get our students academically recognized, what are we trying to do?
I think
But-
it falls under the category of why say no when we can say yes. But we can't usurp, we can't micromanage, unfortunately, so.
All right. That being said, we have no old business. We have no policy updates. We have a personnel agenda in front of you. I would like to make a motion to remove the South Harrison Middle School special ed position, to table it until we can get.
High school.
Sorry, the South Harrison High School special ed position, and table it until we can get,
These two, yeah.
until we can get more information.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. It doesn't mean that it's approved. It doesn't mean that it's not, that it's not there. It just means that we are researching it more. All right. Next on the agenda, we have been asked to pull credit recovery teacher from Bridgeport High School due to a seniority mistake, abolish one executive secretary, accountant, full-time, 250, employment term, attendance department.
That's Mr. Kirby's secretary.
Okay,
We're
we're
asking
abolishing
to
that
pull
position.
We had it on as an abolishment. Mr. Kirby spoke
Rescind
to
it.
us, and we're asking to pull that.
Okay, all right. So is there a motion to approve the personnel agenda, removing the credit recovery teacher from Bridgeport High School and the abolishment, I'm sorry, removing the abolishment of the executive secretary, accountant?
And the South Harrison.
And,
We already did South Harrison.
Oh, okay.
South Harrison's already done.
I need to recuse myself because of a summer school position. And so,
Okay, so we'll accept the motion for Mr. Hoag's recusal as well.
I have one question before we,
Put it on the table. Is there a motion to approve?
No, I so move.
Is there a second?
second,
Discussion.
where do the new descriptions come in, positions,
The job descriptions?
job descriptions? Are they on the agenda or we approve? They are on the agenda?
Mhm.
Okay, then I have a question then. Hold on, let me find it. On the secretary, where it says Secretary 1, Secretary 2, Secretary 3, Executive Secretary. What is, I understand 1, 2, and 3. Under Executive Secretary, it says personnel employed as a secretary to the county school superintendent or as a secretary who is assigned to a position characterized by significant administrative duties. What qualifies as significant administrative duties? Just asking.
Well, I can tell you in the past, this was before I was really here. The county has hired, the secretaries in this county office have been executive secretaries. They're generally reporting to one of the administrators of the department. So that was done before I was here. Generally in counties, executive secretaries work for the superintendent. The others are usually a secretary.
3.
Yep.
Which is what Secretary 3 says, personnel assigned to the County Board of Education administrators.
Yes.
So how does it go from a 3 to an executive? What's the difference? I'm trying to ask what the difference is between a Secretary 3 and significant administrative duties.
We had talked about that a little bit, and if I'm understanding, a lot of the job descriptions are very old, and yes, so they're being updated also to reflect what the state is saying that we need to do with our job descriptions as well. So I understand it's a valid question that you have, and it's a good concern, but there is something that take into consideration that these positions have been in place since the 1980s, 1990s. So they need to be updated.
She's talking about the executive secretary when
I'm talking the executive
Why they're
secretary.
not secretary 3.
Yes. What's the difference between a Secretary 3 and an executive secretary with significant administrative duties? I don't understand. That was my question. I just don't understand. Is there something that can be identified as a significant administrative duties that's different than a Secretary 3?
I think of secretary 3 before for the executive secretary was the job description. That was always added. You know what I mean? When we post a job for a county office secretary, then it would have the Secretary 3 job description on there because there really wasn't one for executive secretary. These job descriptions are state created. Like the state has went back in and created all new service job descriptions.
And that line is in there?
That there is an executive secretary job description in the state.
So we should only have one executive secretary because we only have one superintendent.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Okay.
Unless, I mean, it would be, this is something that's been in place long before I was on this board.
Perhaps we can look at that? I don't know.
What it was when previous administrator before Mrs. Stutler decided it was going to be a lot easier just to make all the secretaries executive secretaries. That was the reasoning. Just going to make them all executive.
And they get paid more, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a.
So-
So are they, I'm sorry. So these folks that, if they're going from a title of executive secretary to a secretary 3, so we're having people that's going to be losing money right now?
Is that
That's,
salary going
it
to
has
change?
to be that.
Well,
If
it's
not-
the same as the paraprofessionals that are bumped down to aid.
That would have to get. Oh, yeah, you can't just reduce.
Yeah, not
them
now.
No, I'm just
all
saying that.
countywide.
Okay, so at transportation and at maintenance, what are those two we have two
They're
secretaries. right?
executive secretary.
And they are because they're
They report-
immediate secretary to a supervisor that's
They're
there,
considered this,
departmental
Yeah.
person, because that would be bad and
Mr.
Jamie,
Clausen.
right?
Be careful with names, please.
But technically, they should not be an executive secretary, only the superintendent gets one.
That's true, but since they are
They're
already,
reposted back unless we would go through.
then
complete-
those folks
transfer.
are going to lose, they're going to lose money.
That would be a transfer
Certainly
for
wait.
next year.
Yeah, if you would change all of them back to a secretary 3, they would absolutely lose salary.
I think one secretary said it would be about 7,000 for her. But we have 2 paraprofessionals that are going from paraprofessional pay to aide pay next year.
I think all that's in front of us at the moment is just the approval of the job descriptions.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the approval is, right? But if you don't,
Right.
but next year it would change. So they would be in the same situation. We wouldn't be able to do anything until transfer season next
Right.
year. Right. But that would be, yes, according to.
Something you can
yes.
put on the table. I mean,
So what do we do? Tell me what we do.
Well, you want, I mean.
These
what
are
do you want
just
to do?
state, these are just in line with the state. There's
these
no
are
wiggle
just
room
job
here.
descriptions. You
Yeah,
can't
these are just
change
job
There's
job
no
I
wiggle.
understand that. So do we keep it like it is now, or do we look at it for later? Since we have to do some things in the spring? I mean, I don't know.
You're still always going to need
So-
an executive secretary.
One, yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you still need that job description.
Okay.
You still need all those jobs.
I was just worried about the other part of that.
Then, I mean, there's a way to determine what you consider.
I think that was my
Yeah.
question. What is
Yes.
that determination?
Yes.
Well, and that can be discussed if
Okay.
there's a
Yeah.
possibility of a reduction next year.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That was my
Right.
question.
Each department's different.
All right. So the motion is on the table and seconded with the note for the recusals and pulling out the personnel items. Is there any further discussion?
I just think if that description is left the way it is, there's no way, I mean, next year then, folks are going to lose some money right there, I would say.
Nothing will be changed next year unless we would put those secretaries on transfer and reduce their,
This is
Yeah.
a step in doing that.
not,
No, not if
This
approve it.
description is a step in
But
doing
we
it.
don't have a choice because it's from the state. But there is that little caveat on in their other administrative duties.
We got this directive from the state to make that.
No. It's updating the job descriptions. The state has updates and we're updating to reflect.
we have other job descriptions that we don't have those jobs. Or we have some that we have the jobs, we don't have the jobs. It's just a pool of the database of job descriptions that when we post the job, you attach that to the posting. So that and they're pretty general. I mean, other than we don't currently have an executive secretary job description. Now, we use the Secretary 3 one. So you've got it anyway, it's just not, the state defined it. That's the difference.
Any further discussion? No further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. This brings us to board member comments. Mr. Tucker.
Thanks for the crowd that came. Thanks for you folks that stayed and voiced your opinion. And we're here that you can hear firsthand or watch it on YouTube, folks. It's there.
Mr. Hutton.
I'd just like to send out condolences to Dave Newsom. He was a former teacher, him and his wife and all in this county, and he suddenly passed away. And I think, as a board, I think we'd like to send our condolences to his wife and children on his passing. Thank you.
Dr. Santilli.
Yeah, I was able to visit a few schools because I had to scramble to get ready for tonight for national boards. And I remember why I'm a secondary teacher, and God love those elementary teachers. They're one step below walking on water, as far as I can tell. And just thank you so much to the staff. And the few schools I was in, it was so nice to see how the community was supporting those teachers. And Big Elm fixed me up with the drink, non-alcoholic. So it was nice to get into a few schools this week.
Ms. Smith.
Want to thank congratulations to all who received awards, academic awards, and of course, the swimming. But also, I would like to extend appreciation to the teachers who put in the time and the leadership for the textbook adoption. I know that's not a paid position. I know you volunteer your time, so I want to say thank you for all those teachers who took time to select appropriate textbooks and materials for our students.
Thank you. I have no comments. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Children of peace.